Whoa, wait a second. Is Mojang about to nerf creepers? And nobody even noticed? How about yet another round of copper updates? Are those on the way too? Good afternoon, gamers. It's 7:23 a.m., Monday, March 30th, 2026. Hopefully, a mere few days away from the true kickoff of Minecraft 26.2 and all of the answers. Over the past few days, I've been spending a lot of time thinking about this brand new update, and from the looks of the comments and my messages, it seems like you guys have too. Detective hats, get them out today, and thinking caps, we'll need those too. Let's take another look at the Chaos Cubed update, and specifically what it might mean for the greater game as a whole. Smash that like button, and if you haven't yet, subscribe. With April Fools and hopefully a new snapshot, this week's gonna be juicy. So a couple of weeks ago, at Minecraft Alive, as we probably know, we've got a brand new Minecraft update revealed and on the way. This update, it's easily already looking like one of the spiciest drops in the current Minecraft drop era. As of right now, we know a good handful of the Chaos Cubed update features. Namely, we're looking at two brand new block families in the form of ketchup and mustard. I meant sulfur and cinnabar. We're looking at a brand new biome in which you'll be able to find all of these brand new beautiful blocks of the sulfur caves. We look at a brand new chemical called potent sulfur, causes water to bubble and kind of basically become acid. Then, last but definitely not least, we've got a brand new bouncy, adorable little mob. I'm obsessed with it. It's called the Sulfur Cube, and this boy is purely fiction. Sulfur Cube, looking something like a slime right now. This is the only feature inside of the update that is purely fiction. Sulfur, cinnabar, the cave biome, and everything else, well, every single one of those things is based in the real world. Now, nowadays, Mojang, with their updates, more so than ever before in the past, they like to try and blend the real world into the Minecraft game whenever possible. Good example of something like this, it's easy, copper. Even though our golem might not exactly be the most real thing in the world, the copper and the whole oxidization mechanic, a feature that Mojang seems to love so much that they continuously iterate on it, armadillos, the scaredy catness and balling up at these little mobs, also from the real world. And so that's where our question arises from today. Knowing that Mojang likes to tie the real world into Minecraft, what can that tell us about Minecraft's brand new update? Sulfur Cube, let's get it out of the way. Aside from the fact that this thing is going to be like a ball, it's going to have different properties, so that's kind of cool, and the real world has so many balls, man. Aside from the fact that the possibilities are nearly endless with the Sulfur Cube, that's not real. That's all we could say about it. When it comes to additional things that the Sulfur Cube might be able to do, in the context of Minecraft and the real world, we cannot gather any further data right now. Keep the baby in mind, though. Once it's in snapshots, we're going to mess with it even more. You bet your bottom dollar. One block, the sulfur. Wow, the yellowy block of all time. The block that is right now kind of the star of the show of this entire update. The block that literally has a biome named after it, Sulfur Caves. This is a fact that not even the famous copper has going for it. It seems like sulfur is going to be a big deal in the world of Minecraft. Over to our elite investigative unit, Gary. What is sulfur used for? If we want to find the answers today, we will need to do a little bit of research. Sulfur is a vital industrial element primarily used to make sulfuric acid. Whoa, wait a second, Google. Don't get ahead of yourself. We're not talking about that yet. We've got a whole hunky list of different uses for sulfur, but most importantly, first up, other applications used in the production of gunpowder. Huh? Ooh, now you know the thing. Minecraft doesn't have guns, but it does have gunpowder. If sulfur is used for gunpowder, and we already have a solid way to get this stuff, what the heck? One of the main uses for sulfur in the real world, a use that I guarantee a bunch of you already knew about. Well, that would be, of course, explosives. Sulfur is one of the main ingredients in creating explosives. Alright, so let's think about Minecraft and what they're on recently. With so many crafting recipes for things that were uncraftable before, it's very apparent. And in fact, the developers literally said it themselves. They are trying to make it easier to get things that aren't necessarily meant to just be impossibly hard to get. Something like a saddle. And today, we wonder, what about something like gunpowder? Options, world options, difficulty, peaceful. In peaceful difficulty, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I'm pretty sure there is maybe not a single way in the game for all of these years to get your hands on gunpowder, a very, very vital crafting ingredient. Things like rockets, potions. If you want to fly around your world, you're going to need gunpowder. If you want to brew up some splash potions, you're going to need gunpowder. We also know that behind the scenes, Mojang seems to be cooking up some kind of potion update here. If Mojang is going to update potions, maybe mess with their brewing a little bit, but one of the ingredients is completely inaccessible in peaceful mode, well, that's a little bit of a problem, right? Enter the Sulfur Cave biome. Problem no more, because if you're playing in peaceful Minecraft and you need something to make explosives, well, imagine a world where you could just dive down under the ground, find the Sulfur Cave biome, maybe even a passive Sulfur Cube mob that I have a hunch might drop some kind of sulfur drop. And, well, there you go. There's step one to creating a brand new explosive inside of the game. Now, the other ingredient, or another ingredient in creating this explosive new thing, would be coal. You combine sulfur with some kind of coal, whether it be charcoal, completely unused in the game, basically, or just straight up coal. And, well, there you go. You have your way to actually craft gunpowder inside of the game after all of these years. That's the big theory. The big tie-in with sulfur seemingly being so important, perhaps this is going to be a brand new way to get gunpowder. And unfortunately, a brand new way to get gunpowder, well, no longer is the Creeper. And for that matter, Creeper Farm is going to be the star of the show, or necessarily as necessary as ever before. A gigantic nerf in the importance of creepers, more specifically, what they provide for you inside of your world. But that's not potentially all. We know that farming has been a thing for a long time in Minecraft and has kind of been unchanged. Well, sulfur is actually a very important ingredient in the act of farming in the real world. It's used as a fungicide, a pesticide, and a soil amendment when trying to grow different crops and plants. Yeah, so in other words, in the real world, sulfur is a form of fertilizer. Speaking of fertilizer, Mojang was just updating plants like Hardcore on Bedrock Edition and bug fixing on Java as well. Do we have a brand new type of bone meal coming to the game? Perhaps the sulfur in some way is going to tie into being able to spread different things inside of your world, maybe flowers and just make more of them, making a bone meal and therefore skeletons a little bit less needed. Or maybe if we're lucky, a little bit more of a stretch, but if we're really lucky here, maybe we're looking at a greater overhaul to the farming system as a whole with the incorporation of sulfur with some kind of new benefit. Sulfur's only half of the show, baby. The cinnabar. Cinnabar is a brand new block family coming to the game inside of this update. It's red, it's romantic, it's good looking, and it's actually highly poisonous. Cinnabar is a toxic bright red mineral primarily used as the main ore for extracting mercury. Now, obviously, in our blocky little world that we call the craft, we don't really know when this is really being set. If a Minecraft takes place, say, in the Roman times, well, actually, cinnabar was used back in those days as a red pigment, a red dye, the equivalent of the modern-day Red 40. But to be honest, with this thing now being known to be so highly toxic, I don't know if Mojang will say, hey, yeah, we're going to take cinnabar and make it into a red paint or a red dye. That seems not like that. Traditionally, this stuff was also used in medicines, different rituals, and, things like painting, so cosmetics, dyeing, art. But our other main use here is extracting metallic mercury. So knowing that this stuff actually has a quite important reaction with mercury, well, maybe Mojang isn't too keen on adding mercury to the game, highly known to be very, very toxic. Perhaps they're going to meet us halfway, if you will, and add cinnabar to the game that will sort of act similarly to mercury. Mercury and copper, what can it do? Well, mercury is so intense and potent that it has some interesting reactions with some of the other metals. Perhaps cinnabar, which is meant to be mercury, is going to interact with copper in an interesting way, being able to remove oxidization from copper. In the real world, mercury will react with copper at room temperature and can actually remove oxidization from copper. You tired of using your old axe to scrape every single copper block back to how it looked in the beginning of the game? Maybe you've looked all over, you can't find any bees in your world? Well, imagine being able to place a cinnabar block down somewhere nearby copper, or maybe a larger amount of it, and slowly the stuff will deoxidize or even be prevented from oxidizing entirely. That would be really crazy. Shadoosh, we've got our third big one here inside of this update. It comes from a block called potent sulfur. You put it under the water, and then that once innocent and beautiful pool of water now becomes basically a pool of acid. If you step into this stuff, it's going to make you nauseous. So clearly, this is strong, dangerous water. Strong, dangerous water. Copper, we go back to it. Now, let's say we had our potent sulfur under the water right here. And so it seems like the potent sulfur block is going to kind of act like a firefly bush where you put one down in an area and then particles come up all over the place, allegedly. Potent sulfur will basically turn an area around the block when placed under the water into potent sulfur acid water. Maybe potent sulfur acid water. Perhaps this could be another way to remove oxidization from copper automatically, allowing for brand new cool machines to be built. Another one here from what we've learned today, sulfur is used as fertilizer, maybe potent sulfur water. If we had crops growing next to this potent sulfur water, maybe the crops will grow a little bit quicker. This would be a fun addition to farming and a great way to buff the stuff and make it go even quicker. After all, you already need water for the farms. Imagine incorporating potent sulfur somewhere nearby, and now your crops grow up at like 10 times the normal rate. Sulfur, cinnabar, in the real world, they have so many uses. In Minecraft, with such a detail that the developers are putting into the features that they add nowadays, they are bound to do even more. Just what these brand new elements will do in the game? Well, hopefully we only have to wait a couple of more days. Your takes and theories, let me know down below. Smash like, and that's all I've got for you today, laddies. Thank you all very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the deep dive. I'll see you all tomorrow. Adios, muchachos.